Democratic leaders are reportedly frustrated over the lack of support for Vice President Kamala Harris. Now, it's apparently led to a rift between the VP and Senator Elizabeth Warren after she responded to some question about endorsing Biden and Harris' ticket in 2024. Here's what she said.
Should Kamala Harris be his choice the second time around?
You know, I really want to defer to what makes Biden comfortable on his team. I've known Kamala for a long time. I like Kamala. I knew her back when she was an attorney general and I was still teaching, and we worked on the housing crisis together. So we go way back, but they have to be a team, and my sense is they are. I don't mean that by suggesting I think there are any problems. I think they are.
A little slip of the tongue there. She tried to roll it back, but, you know, we heard it.
Listen. So, wait, well, hold on. She clarified later on that she fully endorses a Biden-Harris ticket and didn't mean to imply otherwise. But insiders, you know, I love an insider. Insider says Harris feels insulted about it. Does the party need to get on the same page? What is happening?
I don't know what the hell is wrong with Democrats. Listen, here's the bottom line, guys. Joe Biden's going to be your nominee. Stop talking about how old he is. And Kamala Harris is going to be your vice president. So stop fretting, stop wringing your hands, and get behind your ticket, because on the other side, the alternative is Donald Trump or Ron DeSantis. Yeah. So you tell me what you prefer. And I love this.
I mean, isn't she supposed to be a Republican? The Republican of the group? She's never seemed like a Republican to me. The short amount of time that I've, checked out clips from this show, she has never seemed like a Republican to me. So why do they keep putting on this masquerade that she is? It's clear that she isn't. It's clear as day that she is not. Nobody on that panel is a true Republican. Nobody. Not a single person. The only person that I might have said was the black chick that, used to periodically come onto the show. I don't know her name, so forgive me. I just know it's a black lady that will periodically come on. She wasn't like a, mainstay, but periodically she would pop onto the show from time to time. She's the only person that I might consider a Republican. And I haven't seen her in a while. Listen, maybe that's just coincidence. Or maybe she was actually making them look kind of foolish. I don't know. Anybody watch this show, more often? I doubt it. But if anybody knows, let me know in the comment section.
I love that they said in this story, I don't know if it's true, that Madam Vice President is not responding to the calls from Senator Warren. Good. If they are going to be doing this, don't show up to fundraise for them. Don't show up to campaign for them. Don't pick up their phone calls. Get with the program. Listen, you know what they're doing? They're playing right into the hands of Fox News. Yeah. Fox News every single day goes after Kamala Harris, trying to portray her as inept and some kind of bumbling fool. She's not. That's not who she is. And so Democrats have got to come out and reinforce Kamala. They've got to stop playing into the hands of these people who cannot stand that she is the first woman of color vice president, and don't want her to succeed.
Nobody cares about her being a woman or a person of color. Nobody cares except for Ana Navarro and everybody on the left, because she's a part of the left. It's the left that's always talking about it. Nobody on the right's mentioning, oh, well, it's a woman. We don't care. Oh, it's a black person. We don't care. It's always the left that's talking about this stuff. Every single clip you see, it is the left that is mentioning whether or not it's a woman, whether or not, their sexual orientation, whether or not they're a person of color. It's the left always talking about it. It's never the right, and yet they try to accuse the right of caring about it more. Make that one make sense for me, please. Somebody. Can anybody make that make sense? Sheesh, Louise.
By the way, her husband is great, too.
I have to say, though, I'm a little surprised. I mean, when she was announced as
the... Wasn't it her husband that kissed Jill Biden? What wasn't that Kamala's husband that gave Jill Biden that kiss on the lips? Y'all remember that clip?
VP, I was like, it's all over. She's so accomplished, highly qualified. I'm a little struck by the lack of accomplishments in the policy portfolios she's been given. The border is a big one. It's not a win. No one's going to win. We haven't done major in border security or immigration reform since the Bush administration, but she is tasked with overseeing it, and the border crisis keeps getting worse. And I feel like the Biden West Wing isn't necessarily setting her up for success by giving her things that she can go out and champion at a time when voters, I get the age, like age is not the most important thing, but if you're electing someone who's an 82-year-old in 2024, you need to believe that the vice president is able and willing the next day to be the president. And I think there's some concern about just the lack of policy accomplishments that she's made as vice president.
I'm surprised that there's concern. I think it has a lot to do with this. She's a black woman. Black women.
What I tell y'all? What did I tell you? She said it had to do with what? Being black, being a woman. Who's mentioning it? A leftist. And it's also BS. Nobody cares, once again, but, go ahead. Go ahead, Sony.
Women get everything done. We've saved this country's democracy for
She's obviously
for
amazing, but
centuries.
what specifically?
But, well,
like, no, I mean,
where shall I start? I mean, she was in the Senate, of
But
course.
no, I
she was
mean,
the
as
Attorney
vice
General.
president, of course,
As vice
she's highly-
president, the Inflation Reduction
What has she done as vice president?
Act. I mean,
She didn't write that.
She
What
was
did
the
Mike
face
Pence
of
do?
Roe v. Wade. I mean,
No,
the list goes on and on. I'd like to ask you, what did Pence
The face of Roe v. Wade?
do? What
What?
did Pence do?
honestly,
Except-
Operation-
The thing that got struck down? Is that what you mean?
His lips firmly on
is
the
there-
butt of Donald Trump and still is fighting a subpoena to testify against Trump. I mean, when Pence finds the cojones to do something, then I think we can
wait,
talk
we can have
about
that
a vice presidential.
It does feel a little like, get in there.
Okay, so I was just going to jump in and say that, is there any fair conversation to have when it's someone, a woman, a gay man, a person of color? Because one of the things is it's not just Fox. The Daily Show had this reel that played because they were saying this is the new episode of Veep. And it was like this word salad of some moments that were just, I think they called it a word salad, which is why I use that. But it was like repetitive moments that, for me, when I see a leader, I want to feel like I'm going to be okay. Obama was brilliant at this.
Right.
When you saw him speak, there was a charisma, a confidence, a safety in hearing him. There are people that don't have
Sarah,
that.
you could take Winston Churchill out of context and make a video and a clip and a loop. They do it with us every single day, where
Yeah.
oh, look at what the hags on The View said. Well, they take it out of context.
Doing it right now, as a matter of fact. I appreciate you, Ana Navarro. You recognized it, Hey, you called yourself out. I didn't even have to do it. I mean, I did it, but I guess I didn't have to because you did it yourself. Congratulations. You're one step closer to being, a part of the actual right. You at least recognize it. Somewhere in your brain, you know.
Context,
But a lot-
they portray it that way. I just saw Kamala Harris give an incredible speech about climate change in Miami. She has been speaking all over the country about
But then-
reproductive rights
and-
and abortion rights, but they don't put that on TV.
I mean, if y'all want to see it, I'll run it. Wherever that clip is, I'll have to do some digging. But hey, if y'all want to hear Kamala talk about it, let's chat about it. But once again, the View with the worst takes ever. But let's continue this conversation about Kamala and vice president going forward in 2024.
Joe Concha joins us now. Joe, what do you make of this circling of the wagons by the ladies of The View?
Wow, you half expected Ana Navarro to start yelling, kneel before Zod, right? You will obey. I mean, you got to love this. Joe Biden is going to be your nominee. Stop talking about how old he is. Kamala Harris is going to be your vice president. Get behind your ticket. You want another ticket, Democrats? You'll get nothing and like it. I mean, you got to love how this is the Republican on the show saying this. Former Republican strategist Ana Navarro of Florida. I mean, she's got to get the next contract, I guess, after all. But it was also interesting to see Sunny Hostin completely and totally flail when asked if she could name one thing Kamala Harris accomplished as vice president. And the reason why she couldn't answer the question is because there is nothing to name. I mean, she has failed horribly at the U.S. southern border, F- there. And Look, you look at the president's performance in terms of polling, where he is vastly underwater on the economy, inflation, crime, U.S. southern border, education, all the big ticket items. But to that cackling quartet over at The View, nothing to see here. All is well. Great presidency. Get behind the team.
I mean, I guess it's good for Joe Biden
Facts.
that someone is backing him, because even the people on Capitol Hill who work with him won't even back him, at least not yet. But now Kamala Harris apparently won't call Elizabeth Warren back. As new CNN report says, the vice president is refusing to answer Senator Elizabeth Warren's calls after she appeared to distance herself from a 2024 Biden-Harris run. Quote, the Warren moment is infuriating many in Harris's circle. To them, it's the latest in a long string of snubs to a vice president whom they say has never gotten the respect or support she deserves. Joe, what do you think about all this?
Now, we'll end that there because I have something that I do want to say. I am a little bit sad about Kamala and Joe having some issues in the Democratic Party. And I know some of you are like, wait, what? Are you a low-key rhino? No, let me explain. Joe is obviously underwater in a lot of different polls. We've checked him out in a lot of different areas. He's underwater, right? We know that. We've seen the polls. We've seen the polls where, you know, Trump beats Joe. I think I've even seen one where Ron DeSantis beats Joe. Okay. Now, in terms of Kamala, it's the same situation. So who do I want on the Democratic ticket? I want both of them. I don't want Joe to run and then, you know, bring in somebody with a new face, right? Because then I can't guarantee it. But what I think will happen is a lot of these leftists, you know, of course, will get all excited. Oh, look, we got a new face. We got a new face. Look, guys, new face. And they'll rush out to the polls and vote for the same Democrat leadership, or policies, I should say, just with a new face. So I want the same faces, same exact faces, Joe and Kamala. I feel very confident in saying that if Joe and Kamala are on that 24 ticket, they will lose. They will lose. As long as we show up and do our part, right? And we also pull out some of the tactics and strategies that the leftists use. Wherever it's legal, we do the same thing that the Democrats do. We play the same game. If you don't play the game, you can't win. Where it's legal, of course. I'm not advocating for anybody to break the law. But wherever it is legal, you do what it is that is legal. Like, that part of it is common sense to me. But I've seen some people say, well, you know, I'm not gonna even go out and vote, blah, blah. And I'm like, wait, what? You giving up already? Already. Like, just tapping out. This where we tap out? I'm not gonna lie. I was disappointed reading some of that stuff. Like, this is where we tap out? This is where we quit? This is where we give up? Like, really? Now, those comments have been far and few in between, but still, I don't want that to become like the messaging throughout the party. Like, quit. Y'all remember 1776? Boston Tea Party? Revolutionary situation that went down, Revolutionary War? I'm just saying, like, I'm not advocating for violence or anything like that. Don't mince my words. But what I'm saying is, what if they would have given up? What if they just would have said, you know what? This is too hard. You know, this seems like a daunting task. I don't think I want to embark on this journey. What if they would have quit? Exactly. Not good. So I think it's a disservice to the very people that came before us to quit now. I'm just saying. But that's just my humble opinion on it. I despise quitting. I don't like that. I don't like that personally. And like I said, I think it's doing the people that came before us a major disservice because they stuck their necks out in order to make sure that we had a great place to live. All right. And for me to see, like I said, it was out of like a 100 people, there was like, I would say like one or two. Okay. One or two. So it wasn't like a rampant thing. Okay. Probably not even two, really one. All right. But of course, you know, whenever you see a comment like that, you kind of focus on it, of course, because it's just like, wait, what? Quit? Huh? Nah, we ain't quitting. Not giving up. So yeah, I think, if those two faces are on that ticket, they lose. They lose. As long as we do our part and where it's legal, we use the same tactics that the left uses, whatever those tactics may be. Wherever it's legal, we do the same thing that the left does. Okay. There's no shot that they win. No shot. I've seen way too many people converted to the right, way too many people talking about, hey, man, hey, listen, I voted for Biden before, but I'm definitely voting for Trump the next go round. You know, way too many people. I literally made a video on the whole situation. Even the LGBTQ community is leaving the Democratic Party at this point. Now, listen, I never thought that kind of thing would happen, but it is happening, guys. They are leaving the very party that is basically catering to every single one of their needs. They're just chucking up the deuces to them and saying, I'm out. These guys are crazy over here. So if we all go out and do our part, there's no way that they win. In my humble opinion. I don't know this for a fact, but in my humble opinion, there's no way that they win. And, you know, having new faces on that ticket could curtail that, could throw a wrench in that. So I want the same faces, Joe and Kamala, the same ones that put us through all this BS, the same ones that put us through all of this hardship. Because when people go to that ballot box for those polls with those names, those same names, I want them to remember the previous 4 years and everything that they went through. I don't want them to see new names and say, oh, man, maybe greener pastures are ahead of us. Because, you know, that's what a lot of people, especially on the left, are going to think when they see two new names or a new name on that ticket. So I want the same folks. So I'm encouraging the left and Democrats to do exactly what Ana Navarro said and get behind Kamala and Joe. Y'all should do it too. Peace and love. I'm out.